So in the next step, we need to cut our information to the actual size of Haiti. Of course, we could do that by hand based on the OpenStreetMap data or by other data, but that's of course a cumbersome process, and it's not really necessary because many data, especially on this large scale, are freely available. And I can recommend you the webpage naturalearthdata.com. I'll go to the download section, and here you can find data in different scales. I will go to the raster. Here you can download complete data for the whole world. That can be sometimes quite helpful if you want to visualize something on a global scale, because producing the data by yourself on a global scale based on DEM data is a quite cumbersome process, because you need to download all the data and you will run into the problem that the poles are not covered by it, so there will be a hole. So if you really need data on a global scale, this one might work better than the self-made ones. But what we need now are cultural data, and here you can download all the countries. Here you can download also all the countries, or not all, some in a single file. Doesn't make any sense. You also can download here boundary lines, provinces, counties, populated places, and so on. The file we need now is the countries. What you can of course also do is to download the whole data set to store it somewhere on your machine. That's a very, very helpful data set, and I use it quite often, especially when it comes to global scale. It's not always perfect and it's not always as detailed as I wanted, but it's better than to do it by yourself, because it's not always possible to find better data. It's a little bit different when you're working in Europe or in the US. You will definitely get much better data from the local authorities than the ones you will find here. But if you're working abroad, that's really the way to go for. So go to download countries, and you will end up with this one. It's a so-called shape file. There's a little bit a very, very old-fashioned way of storing geodata. This one is not necessary, and this one is not necessary. But all other 5 files are necessary. So if you delete one, the whole thing will be broken. So you need to keep them all together. And if you send the data to someone else, keep in mind that you need to share all of them and not just the so-called shape file. It has a lot of other disadvantages, and we will not use it now in course of these tutorials because it's really old school. And I know still many people use it, but it's really not recommended. And you will see in the course of the digitization of our features what benefits other newer formats have over these old school shapefiles. But in this way, we don't have anything else. So we will drag it on top of everything. And now what you can see, now we have the boundaries of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and we want both. Very easy process. What we need to do now is we need to select it. You will do it with this one by select feature by area or single click. Now you can select things, and if you hold the shift button, you can directly select both. Now you have 2 possibilities. If you don't want to have the whole data set of the whole world on your computer, which isn't a big deal because it's just 5 megabyte in size. Of course, you could go to export, save feature as, give it a name, and go for save only selected features. Then a new data set would be produced just containing Dominican Republic and Haiti. But we will choose a different way. What we will do now is we will go to raster, and we go to extraction and to clip raster by mask layer. Therefore, we will choose now our Haiti DEM, and we will choose the mask layer, is this one, the countries list, and we go for selected features only. You might see now that our country list is in a different coordinate system than our input layer. That doesn't really matter because QGIS can transform it on the fly. That's actually all we need to do. And I want to save it directly. So you go here to Clip Mask, Save to File. And we go to our Haiti Maps folder. This one, DM, and I will call it DM clipped, and we'll keep the coordinate system. Okay, save, and we'll go to run. That might take a while depending on your computer. Go to close. Now you don't see much, but if we now switch off our old data, now you can see we removed everything which doesn't belong to the island itself. Now we can move this one also to our raw data, and actually we can also delete our hillshade. We could also cut it, or will we do it? I think redoing it is faster. So again, delete our, we go again to raster analysis and to hillshade, and we use our clipped. So you see that these lists can be quite long, so take care when you name your files that you don't take the wrong ones. We will go again for 0.2, keeps the rest as it is, and now we will also produce a fixed file, not a temporary file, and we will call it clipped, not DEM. We call it hillshade. Save and run. Now that should look like this, and now we are going to add more information because we also need the sea. Therefore, we go to the next page. It's called GEPCO. You will read it under download.gepco.net, and here you will find all the bathymetric data we need to describe also the sea around Haiti. Here it's the same process. We of course now have to enter the boundaries. It's described here how to do it. Use Control and left mouse button. And now you can draw a box. You can make it a little bit bigger. Here you can now choose the file format, and of course we go again for the GeoTIFF and add to basket, view basket, and download your data. That will take a while, so I will use the data I already downloaded. Oh no, here we go. And just drop it in. Of course, now it's covering everything, so take care that you put it under your hillshade and your DEM. So that was the last data we need to prepare, and in the next step we will go to make it look nice.